So once again, TikTok has taken down one of my videos, and I don't really understand it. They leave up videos all the time about people being shot or fights being punched, yet my video gets taken down when I'm showing my 8-year-old daughter handling a rattlesnake. But she's handling it perfectly, professionally, with the correct tools. She's completely safe, and I'm watching everything she does, and yet TikTok takes it down because it's a dangerous act. And I don't understand it. I really don't understand TikTok's algorithms and their barometer and how they decide what is a dangerous act or not. First of all, let me just say, I would never put my child, I have 2 daughters, and both my daughters have gone with me on hundreds, if not thousands, of snake calls. They're 10 and 12 now. The video that I posted today was of my, at the time, 10-year-old, she was 8 then, safely using correct tools to move a rattlesnake off of a hiking trail. And I was super proud of her, and I made it where it was a positive experience for her. I tried to make the video a positive experience, and TikTok decided that my daughter was in danger. First of all, nobody is going to love their children more than I do. And maybe that's not fair to say. I'm sure many people love their children. But I love my children, and I would never put them at extreme risk of danger knowingly. And again, my kids, we've been on safari in Africa. My daughters have been in the cage with a great white shark. We've been charged by elephants. But it's all calculated risk. And doing what we do, which is snake relocation, it's crazy to think that TikTok can tell me that what I'm doing with my kids is dangerous. Again, I'm a little bit peeved or pissed off, I guess. Again, I watch TikTok videos all the time, primarily for entertainment, and I see stuff on there that I would not show my kids. I'm embarrassed to show them some of the things that are on TikTok. And there are some things on there that I would deem dangerous, where people appear to either have died or possibly could die. Yet my videos keep getting taken down because they think a child should not interact with a venomous snake. And I understand that there is some danger involved in that, but let me first say this. My kids have been around snakes since birth. Okay, we've always had a pet snake, and I've always been involved with snakes. And when they were old enough to actually walk, they were going on snake calls with me. So when they were actually old enough to pick up the tools that we use, the tongs, the hooks, and the buckets, I started training them on how to properly work with snakes. And of course, at first, it was all non-venomous snakes. We would let them work with gopher snakes, king snakes, a lot of the snakes here in San Diego that are common. It wasn't for the first few years did I allow them to actually start manipulating rattlesnakes, which is our only venomous snake here. And the video that TikTok took down today, because it was a dangerous act, she was 8 years old. And yes, sorry, someone's texting me. That is young. 8-year-old girl, most girls should not be around venomous snakes. And I completely accept that. But I've trained and taught my kids to be understanding of snakes. They relate with snakes. They've handled snakes. They literally have caught hundreds of snakes. And for them to take down a video because TikTok deemed it as dangerous, even though the rattlesnake Sorry, I keep getting texts. The rattlesnake never struck at her. The rattlesnake was never any more than 4 feet away from her. She always used the tools correctly and kept the snake away from her. And I was right there. I was watching the snake the entire time. And like any animal, you kind of get a feel for if the animal is agitated or upset or not. And like dogs, you walk up to a dog, you put your hand out to let it smell your hand, but you can immediately sense if that dog is going to be friendly or not. And if it's not, you pull your child back, right? Well, snakes are very similar to that. I can quickly tell you by the body motion, the body action, the way the snake's reacting, if it's angry or agitated. And if the case was that this snake that we were working with was agitated, I would have never let her manipulate this snake. And this was a wild Southern Pacific rattlesnake, our most common snake in San Diego. And you know what? This snake was big, probably 3.5 feet long. But she was never, she was never in danger. And it pisses me off that TikTok keeps taking down videos that, in my mind, are helping, I think, people appreciate snakes, or in the bare minimum, learn to understand that they're not vicious killers. Snakes are not going to chase you. They're not going to jump and attack you. Snakes don't do that. Snakes' only ambition in life is to eat and have baby snakes. That's it. And they can't eat me. They can't eat you. So they're not going to waste their precious venom on something the size of a human unless you piss them off. And you piss them off, well, yeah, you're going to get bitten. And there's a lot of, almost said a bad word. There's a lot of stupid people on TikTok that post videos of them grabbing snakes behind the head that they have no clue what it is. They're like, what is this snake? I don't even know if this snake's venomous. Usually they say poisonous, because most people that don't know that much about snakes use the word poison instead of venom. But we won't go down that rabbit hole. But anyway, if you're just joining, I'm pissed off. And I hate to say that because I don't get pissed off very often. But TikTok took down a video today that I posted of my 8-year-old. She's 10 now. She was 8 at the time. And she was working with a 3.5-3-foot Southern Pacific rattlesnake. And she was using the appropriate tools, and she was safely manipulating it, getting it off the trail. The snake never struck. It never bit. There was no danger. Was there a risk? Sure. I guess if you want to look at it, things like that, yes, there was a risk. But you know what? Every time you get in a freaking car, you're at risk. Every time you go out of your house, you're at risk. A tree could fall. Lightning could strike. A freaking freak could come up with a gun and shoot you. But you know what? They're calculated risk. We leave our house. We get in a car. We go to the mall. We go to the freaking movie theater. So a calculated risk is worth it if you want to live life. But my 8-year-old is trained. You know what? She's trained. I personally have spent countless hours training her and my other daughter on how to handle and understand snakes. And yes, venomous snakes included. They're no different. I teach them to treat all snakes, venomous or not, the same. And of course, there's more risk with venomous ones than there is non-venomous ones. But you know what? Like a dog, any snake can bite you. I get questioned all the time. Have you ever been bitten by a snake? Yes, hundreds of times, but never by a venomous snake, because I'm smart enough to know how to handle them. And so are my children. And I've taken it upon myself to teach them how to work with snakes. And if you're just joining again, I'm ranting a little bit tonight because TikTok, once again, took down a video. I think it had 20,000 views, nothing major, because they said that my 8-year-old was in a dangerous act. And there was nothing dangerous about what she was doing. Was there a risk? Sure. But I was watching her. She was perfectly handling the snake. And she moved it from one point to another. The snake was released, unharmed, and that's what happened. So anyway, wow. Sorry, I haven't even looked at the screen. I don't leave my house because people exist. Ha! Yeah, I sometimes feel like that. I'm way more scared of people, or I shouldn't say scared. I'm way more uncomfortable with people than I am with snakes. I always tell people I operate in color codes. Green is my most relaxed state, typically when I'm home. Then I go into yellow, where something's starting to bother me a little, something doesn't feel right. Orange, when I'm noticing things around me aren't as they should be and I need to act. And red means it's go time, which if I go to red mode, that's bad. That's bad. Something's happening around me that needs to stop and I'm going to have to take care of it. Anyway, sorry about that. Good for you for training and teaching her how to handle venomous snakes. Thank you. I think snakes are probably the most unappreciated or misunderstood creatures on the entire planet. And I often tell people, I do a lot of educational classes with kids, and I tell people there's no other animal that I'm aware of, and if there is one, please put it in a comment. There's no other animal that I'm aware of that is born deadly. Think about it. A tiger, not deadly at birth. A crocodile, not deadly at birth. A hippo notoriously kills more people on the African continent than any other animal. A hippo. Yet when they're born, they're just little piggy, cute little animals. They're not going to hurt you. But a snake, from the day they're born, they're venomous. And venomous to a point where some species can kill a human. So there's no other animal that I'm aware of that actually can kill from the day they're born, that I can think of. So that freaks people out. And I think the problem with snakes is it's passed down from generation to generation. If your parents feared snakes, it's probably because their parents feared snakes. And if your parents fear snakes, they're going to teach you to fear snakes. They're going to teach you that they're evil and they're bad and they're going to chase you and they're going to attack you. And that's the problem, is it's systemic. It's passed down. I hate to say it. Please don't get mad at me. It's passed down like racism. Okay? You are not born racist. Okay? You do not know color. You do not know religion. And I'm not going to go down this road very far, but I'm just going to say that it's taught to you to fear a snake. You're not born with the fear of a snake, but your parents probably taught you that. Anyway, so let's see. What made you get into snakes? Actually, it's kind of an embarrassing story. I was born in London, England. And when I was 6 months old, I moved to Houston, Texas. And I didn't have very many friends. I was 6 years old. Sorry, I said 6 months. I was 6 years old. I didn't have any friends. But I learned quickly that Texas had a lot of snakes, and I was fascinated by them. And I started to catch them and bring them home, and my dad made me really cool terrariums for them, and I had snakes all the time. And what I found was snakes attracted other kids that like snakes. So all of a sudden I had friends that appreciated reptiles like I did. So I guess I got into snakes because I was a dorky little kid from England and didn't have any friends until I started hanging out with snakes. Simple, I guess. Cone shells jellyfish. Don't know what that means, but yes, cone shell jellyfish, highly toxic, highly venomous. I think one of the most toxic or venomous animals in the world. Oh, that's awesome. So anyway, if you're just joining, I'm not on here just to smile at the camera. I don't really like to be on the camera, but I'm pissed off because TikTok, yet again, probably the 6th video that they've taken down because they said what I post is a dangerous act. And if you didn't see it, I'm going to take a sip of wine because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I posted a video this morning about 8 o'clock in the morning. I usually post my videos around 8 o'clock. And it was of my youngest daughter, who at the time was 8. And she was working with a rattlesnake independently, not without me there. I was watching, but I wasn't helping her. She was right there doing it alone, working with about a 3-foot rattlesnake, moving it with correct tongs and hooks off of a hiking trail. And after about 20,000 views, TikTok took it down and said that it was a dangerous act. They also gave me another warning today, which I hadn't seen yet, that said, if I keep getting these warnings, they're going to ban me temporarily or possibly permanently from TikTok. So I hope that doesn't happen. I like this platform. I like to use it to help educate people. I find some entertainment in some of the comments. So I hope they don't take me down. But if they do, c'est la vie. as they say. What is your favorite snake to catch and release? Well, I don't have a favorite, but here in San Diego, we have about 5 or 6 common snakes. And of those, the most common one I get to have to go on a call for is a rattlesnake. Most people in San Diego don't want a rattlesnake in their yard or their home. They have dogs, they have kids, whatever. So that's the most common call. I usually get anywhere from 3 to 5 calls a day. And typically they start around 3 in the afternoon. And right now, I can't see what time it is. It is, I can't even see the clock that far. It's somewhere around 6 o'clock in San Diego. And I haven't had a call today. Hence that I'm sitting here drinking wine, talking to you guys, which is great, having a ball. But typically I'm out driving around the county helping people with snakes. So yeah, rattlesnakes are the most common. Do you have any pet snakes? Yeah, actually we do. We have a rosy boa, what am I thinking? We have a ball python that we saved off Craigslist. Somebody was getting rid of it, and my daughters convinced me that it was a good idea to have a pet. And we've now had her 4 years, and she's awesome. Usually she's hanging out with me. I don't have her down with me right now, or I'd show it to you, but she's great. My baby turned 1 year old today, past Wednesday. She is a boa. Oh no. She passed away. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. That sucks. Wow, one is very young because boas can live 25, 30 years. So I don't know what the underlying premise of the death was, but I'm very sorry to hear that. It would be cool if you could mark them so they know if you're getting the same snake. This is really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to address this question here. Heather. Hi, Heather. So I've thought about this so I would know if I'm catching any of the same snakes. And I don't have the financial means. Actually, it's not that I don't have the financial means. I don't have the interest in putting tracking devices in snakes. It's very costly. You have to have a lot of electronics. But I did think I could possibly take something like nail polish and paint a little bit of red on the rattle or pink or whatever. And then I would know, at least for a while, obviously nail polish is going to wear off, but I would know if I'm finding the same snakes more often, showing back up in the same spot. But then I thought, if I do that and that gets out to the public where I live here in Carlsbad, people would be like, oh, his snakes are showing up, they've got the pink marking, and therefore what you're doing isn't of value because they're showing back up in our yard. So I decided that marking them or somehow marking them so I can track them wasn't a good idea. But I've thought about it, seriously thought about it. I even thought about maybe, I don't know, sketching a little bit of their scales off. But the other problem with marking them is there's that much more direct contact with the snake that I have to have, which anytime you're actually touching the snake, even if it's painting, nail polish on its tail, I'm putting myself at risk for a bite. And, that's serious business. If I get bitten by a rattlesnake, here's something, I'll blow your minds here. I have always heard what a rattlesnake bite costs financially, but I actually had the opportunity to interview a lady that was bitten, and she gave me an hour and a half, 2 hours of her time, which I was grateful for, at a local coffee shop. And I had a whole series of questions. I wanted to hear about what it felt like and what did she see and how was it when you got in the ambulance and all that crap. But the biggest thing was I wanted to know is how much did a rattlesnake bite cost? Now, for you that don't know, guess. Anybody throw a number out. I would love to see what you think the overall cost of a rattlesnake envenomation costs. I'm looking because I'm hoping someone puts up a number. 35,000, 3510. Great, keep going. Up, 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 up. 60 to 90. Okay, stop right there. 60 to 90,000. You're right there, Sebastian. 60 to $90,000. So this lady that was bitten by a Southern Pacific rattlesnake, she was bitten on her lower left leg right above her tennis shoes while she was out for a walk or a hike or a run, I don't know. She said that the bill that she received was $70,000. Okay, for me, that's like a 5 Series BMW. or a freaking amazing trip to Fiji to surf. Actually, that would cover that plus another trip to Africa. But $70,000, man, that's big bucks. So for me to 7 million, not that bad. 20 billion, whew, that would be I would have to mount that snake. I might have to take that snake's head and mount it if it was 20 billion, because I can't cover that. 1 trillion, can't even imagine. I can't even imagine that much money. But anyway, a rattlesnake bite, from what I'm hearing from a firsthand bite victim, was $70,000. So back to the question about why I don't mark them is I do not want to be bitten. I certainly do not want to have extended contact with a snake. My contact is typically with my tool in the bucket, drive it to where I'm going to relocate it, my tool out of the bucket, c'est la vie, my love. And some of my videos, I'm sure if you've seen any of my videos, I do pick them up. Sometimes when a big rattlesnake's crawling away from me, I can't help it. I got to grab it by the tail. I'm pushing it a little bit, but again, I'm watching that snake. I know its temperament. It's not going to bite me. But anyway, wow, off on a roll. I am on a roll. Have you ever been close to getting bit by a dangerous snake? Yes, multiple times. I've had probably 3 what I would call extremely razor blade edge near misses. One was a fertilance, which is a very dangerous snake in Costa Rica. And somebody said hi from Costa Rica earlier. So hi, sorry, that was like one of the very first comments. Yeah, I was in Costa Rica and we were at the Oso Peninsula and came across a very large fertilance. And of course I couldn't help myself. I had to mess with it and it did not like it. It was close, but it didn't get me. The other 2 times I've almost been bitten. Both times were trying to get rattlesnakes out of garden netting. Excuse me. Garden netting is what people put over plants to keep birds from eating whatever the plant they're growing. Oranges, apples, blah, blah, blah. People grow all kinds of crap here in San Diego. But they put this netting around it. And what happens is snakes, birds, animals, all kinds of animals get stuck in it. And it's brutal. They get in the netting and then they start freaking out and they twist themselves up. And 2 times I've had to, well, I've cut many snakes out of snake netting, but twice the rattlesnake almost got me. Like within, I mean, she's so close that I don't even want to talk about it. So close that I literally had venom. One time in particular, I had venom on my fingers because the fang hit so close that it squirted venom on my fingers. So anyway, very close. Where is the weirdest place you've had to catch and relocate a snake? I think, and it's not really that weird, but the most stressful one was a rattlesnake had crawled up through the wheel well of a car and was inside the engine block. And she called me and said, I have a snake and it went in my wheel well. Sorry, I had something in my mouth. And I got there and I don't know the first thing about the engine of a car other than you put the key in, you start it, you push the pedal and it goes, you put gas in it and it keeps going. So I opened the hood of this car and with a flashlight looking all around, all I could see was way down in there, a small piece of skin. And I knew that it was a big rattlesnake. And other than that, I didn't know what to do. Luckily, there was a guy there that was a somewhat mechanically minded, and he helped me take apart some pieces of the car to where I could get the tongs. But the snake was so deep in the engine that it was very uncomfortable. Twice, the snake tried to come out under the engine right between my legs. I was sweaty. What I like to say, damp satchel, if you know what that means, sweaty balls at that point. So that was probably the most uncomfortable call I've had lately. Be careful out there. Don't get too comfortable. No, I get that. Snakes are one of those things, I guess like any wild animal. You can't get too complacent. You can't get too cocky. You can't get to a point where you think you know too much, because if you do, you're going to get bitten. One of the things that I always have to remind myself is often in my garage, I have 6 or 7 temporary holding tanks where I put snakes until I can release them, which is usually within 24 hours. And sometimes I have so many snakes in my garage that I forget which snakes are in which tank. I try to keep same species together. Rattlesnake here, king snake here, gopher snake here. But sometimes I have to remind myself, don't open that tank and stick your hand in there until you visually look to see what kind of snake it is. So anyway, have you had any water snakes? Yeah, no, I'm from Texas, so water snakes were everyday occurrence. We used to go down to these local golf courses when they were closed, and we would get into the water literally up to our eyes, and we would crawl along the banks because the snakes would lay up on the banks in the sun, and we would crawl in the water so they wouldn't see us coming. And we would have pillowcases, and we would just reach up and grab them off the bank, throw them into the pillowcases. So no, yes, very familiar with water snakes. Should you be worried if you get bit by a non-venomous snake? No. A non-venomous snake bite, well, depends on what kind of snake. There are lots of, so my kids just came home and my wife, so this is going to be interesting. They could jump in the camera. I don't know if they're going to do that. Depending on the species of snake, most of them are no problem. However, like a big boa or a big python have very large teeth and can do hi, I'm doing a live TikTok. My family's walking in. Say hi, everybody.
Oh, hi. Like, what?
You're live right now.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. Sorry. My mini snake wrangler just came in from the pool. And yeah, she's the one that actually was on the video. And there's our puppy. She's the one that was actually on the video today that they took down after 20,000 views because they said it was a dangerous act. That's kind of how this whole live video started. Oh, here's my other daughter. Say hi.
Hi.
And then their friend. Oh, everybody's in bathing suits. Woohoo! So we're live right now. So yeah. So somebody says, "What's up?" Say, "What's up?" What's up? Oh wow! And my wife is taking a picture of me going live. Come on, say hi.
So weird.
Yeah, she doesn't get it. So anyway, any other questions? I'm looking at a lot of stuff here. Gabriel just joined. Somebody asked me a cool question. I'm ready. Answer it. Go away. Go away. Go away. Come say hi. Yeah, come say hi. Hi. Baylor, it is me. Hi. What's a good pet snake? Oh, that's a good question. So, in my opinion, the best snake is a ball python. They're slow moving. They're typically very mellow snakes. They don't get overly large. Like a big ball python might be 3 feet long. I think they're great. We have one. They eat well. They're not hard to take care of. If I was to say a starter snake, that would be it. What's the most sections you ever seen on a rattle? So rattle sections, I've seen large ones, maybe 12 or 13 rattles. The thing about rattles on rattlesnakes is they're made out of keratin, which is the same material your fingernails and hair is made out of. I don't have a lot of hair. So they break. So what happens as rattlesnakes get older, the rattles break off. So you can't really age a rattlesnake by sections of rattle because they gain rattle sections every time they shed their skin. And rattlesnakes can shed their skin anywhere from 3 to 5 times a year. So if you see a rattlesnake with 10 rattlesnakes or 10 rattles, it doesn't mean it's 10 years old. It just means it's shed its skin in its life 10 times. But again, a lot of the rattles break off. So I've seen giant rattlesnakes that you would think would have 25 rattles, but they don't because it's broken off. Something stepped on it or it broke off. So anyway, hi.
Ew, Addie. What?
Ew, Addie.
What?
Please say hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. What's going on? How are you? Where are you from, Sarah? Sorry, it just got crazy in here because my kids just walked in, my wife just walked in, and they all just came home from the pool. It's Friday afternoon here in San Diego. And yeah, what's the most poisonous snake in the world? Okay.
False.
False, right? What's the right answer?
Snakes aren't poisonous.
Why?
They're venomous. Well, I guess they could be if you ate them, but I don't.
Yeah. But
They're
what?
venomous.
Venomous.
Yes.
Okay, so the question was, what's the most poisonous snake in the world? And I'll be a smarty pants here and say, typically, there's no poisonous snakes. Actually, there are a few snakes you can't eat. But I'll give you a quick little education here.
Poisonous or venomous?
Poisonous or venomous. So venom is injected. Means you have to be bitten. Snake bites you, you've been envenomated. Poison is ingested. You eat it. So if I went over and went under my kitchen cabinets over there and pulled out a bottle of Ajax cleaning product and ate it, I would be poisoned. So poison, venom, I know it's kind of silly, but there's a difference. So what is the most venomous snake in the world? I will answer that question, or I'll let one of my girls. What's the most venomous snake in the world?
Inland taipan.
Yes. What'd you say?
The inland taipan.
Yes.
They don't look very.
Yeah, so the inland taipan, which is an Australian snake, is on the scale of toxicity the most venomous land-based snake. I think, and I may be wrong here, and if I am, please somebody correct me. I think there may be some sea snakes that have a higher toxicity than the inland taipan, but drop per drop, the inland taipan is the most venomous, not poisonous, venomous snake that I'm aware of. I'm from Dallas. What part of Texas are you from? Hey, grew up in Kingwood. So Kingwood, Texas is a northern part of Houston. And then after college, I went to Dallas and lived in Plano, Texas, and worked in Plano for a few years before. Oh, my wife's coming over. Say hi. Live with my wife, who never goes on camera.
Okay.
She's not having it. She's not having it. So let's see. What's your favorite snake? Mine is a king cobra. Well, I don't know. That's hard to say. I love all snakes. If you were to say what's your favorite snake that you could find locally, I'd probably say the red diamond or the king snake. I love both those. I guess if I was to want to see one snake in the wild that isn't here, maybe a gaboon viper. I think gaboon vipers are fascinating creatures. I would love to see one in the wild. So, oh, somebody from Australia. That is so cool. Oh, it's Sarah again. Hi, from Australia. That's cool. So we take one big trip every year with the family, and we always put it on a list of where we want to go. And Australia is on that list. We will get there one day. It just hasn't happened yet. COVID put a little damper on our travel schedule, but yes, we one day. And then from New Zealand, that's also on both of them. I think we're going to do Australia and New Zealand. Next year is Thailand. This year is Alaska. Where after that? What? My wife thinks she's funny. She said we're going to Uranus. Comedy. I have found a few caperhead snakes. I'm guessing you mean copperhead. Yeah, so you must be in the South. Copperhead snakes are very common. We used to find them in Texas all the time. Nasty little snakes if you're bitten. Just stay away from them. Queensland. Love it. So what I want to do when I go to Queensland, actually anywhere over there, is I want to fly fish. I'm a diehard fly fisherman, and they say that New Zealand has some world-class trout fishing. That's what I want to do one day. So anyway, okay, so again, I'm not on here just to chat. If you're just joining or if you've been on for a while and haven't heard, I am peeved off because TikTok took down a video of mine because it showed my 8-year-old daughter manipulating and moving a rattlesnake. TikTok took it down after 20,000 views and said it was a dangerous act. And I just get so frustrated with that because, you know what, she's trained, even though she's only 10 now, she's handled hundreds of snakes. And she does it with care and compassion, and she's always on top of it. And yes, I'm always monitoring it. So a little bit pissy about it. I really hope TikTok, if you guys ever watch these live videos, know that I would never put my child in any danger. And my wife, who's now here, would agree that I would never, ever, ever want anything bad to happen to my kids. So anyway, I love your videos so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love doing them. It's fun. It's funny when I joined TikTok probably, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, it was because my kids said, Dad, you should do TikTok. And I was like, I don't know how to dance. I just assumed or thought TikTok was all about doing all the silly dance moves. And I didn't realize that there was actually some pretty good content out there. And I've learned now that TikTok has some really good people, and I've learned a lot from people on TikTok. So thank you to those that I follow. But it's been fun. It's been great, and I kind of feel like now it's up to me to make sure that on TikTok my videos are educational and helpful to people. I don't ever want to put a video up just for my own well-being. My hope is that people gain stuff from them. So anyway, dude, even if you decided to put them in line of action, that's your choice and no one else's. I agree. But the problem is on a social media platform like TikTok, they have the power to shut me down. They have the power to take videos down, which bothers me because, again, I don't put videos up that show people being punched or in fights or in car crashes or motorcycle wrecks. And that's all on there. I see all that. They don't take those down, but they take mine down that show my 8-year-old perfectly working with a snake and moving it with the tools that she's been taught to use. So I don't know, just pisses me off. Let's see. I'm in Maine. Wow. You know what? I've never been to Maine. I used to live in Connecticut, but never been to Maine. I'd love to get up there. I hear it's beautiful. You're just showing them the trade, and the longer your kids do it, the better and more efficient. I agree. I agree. You got to practice, and how else are our kids going to learn to do anything if you don't teach them and expose them to it? And I think I've done that. My kids have, like I said, they're 10 and 12 now, and they work with snakes almost every day. We get a lot of calls, and they go with me a lot, and they're in the game, man. When it's a non-venomous snake, my girls will just go over and pick them up. Just pick them up. No tongs, no tools, because they've just been taught. You don't have to fear them. Somebody said, Daddy. Wow. Daddy. My wife's going, creepy, Daddy. Wow. With extra Y's at the end of Daddy. I don't know. Is that good? Is that a good thing? A good Daddy? No, not a good thing? I don't know. Kind of fun. Somebody's calling me Daddy. Daddy. My girls are giggling. Daddy. Oh, anyway. All right, so I think we're kind of venturing away from the whole reason I did this video. Yeah. You want to say anything, Ed? So the reason, wait, come here. Come over my shoulder.
Okay.
So the reason I even went live is I had posted a video of you when you were 8, when you were wearing your little pink dress and your little cowboy hat, when you were working with a rattlesnake. And after 20,000 views in the first 3 hours, TikTok took it down and said it was a dangerous act. Were you ever in danger? Did you ever feel scared?
No.
No? Was I letting you get hurt? Was I allowing you to be in a position where you were going to get bitten by a snake?
No.
No, of course not. So anyway. So, wait. Tag me. Somebody's saying tag me. I think it's the same person saying daddy. So is that daddy? Tag me. So this is my other daughter. Do you love snakes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it cool?
Yes.
Do I ever make you do things you're not comfortable doing?
No.
No. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather be out on a snake call with me or sitting on your iPad playing silly games?
A snake call.
Yes. Yeah. And is it fun being out getting snakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, trying to be a good dad here. I'm fortunate because my kids dig it. And if they ever said they didn't want to do it with me anymore, then they don't have to. TikTok can be a little strict sometimes, but ignore them. Do what you do. And thank you. I appreciate that. Shaka, bro. Shaka back to you. Snakes are awesome. I agree. How did you get over the fear of picking up snakes? You know what's weird? I never had a fear of snakes. In fact, I don't fear much of anything. I wasn't born with the fear gene like some people. I don't like public speaking. I don't like when my daughter gets too close to me. What am I scared of?
I don't know.
What?
Clowns.
Oh yeah, clowns.
Clowns.
Holy crap. I hate clowns. Clowns freak me out. What was the movie we watched? It. We saw It, the movie, because they wanted to watch It. Oh, and holy crap. I was so freaked out by that movie.
I have 10 snakes.
I have 10 snakes. Whoa. That's more than we have. So anyway, okay, so I think this has gone long enough. Wait, I couldn't do what even your kids do, man. No one showed me the hands-on like you that as a kid. Well, you know what? It's not too late. What is your name? Dakota from the Walmart. Oh, whoa, Dakota from Walmart. You know what? It's not too late. What I would recommend is find somebody that has a pet snake. Doesn't matter what kind. And go over and handle it. Spend some time with it. Check it out. And that will get you over the initial fear. Once you do that, you're not going to be afraid of snakes. They're not scary. They're not. Come here. Are they scary?
No.
No, they're not scary. They're just animals trying to survive, just like every other animal out there. They're not evil. I get comments all the time that they're the devil. You know, snakes are the devil. They're not. They're not. They're just animals. They just want to survive, like a dog or a cat or a coyote or a bobcat. They don't want to mess with humans. We're the ones who mess with them. When people are bitten by snakes, it's because most of the time somebody messed with them, trying to catch them, trying to kill them, trying to step on them. Very rarely is it just an accidental bite. So anyway, there I went on a rant. Okay, I want a snake, but I don't know where I can find one. Well, you can get them at pet stores. You can get them at reptile shows. There's reptile shows that go all around the country, and we go to one here in San Diego twice a year. All kinds of crazy people watching too. But yeah, great place. My python ate my hamster. Ooh. There's always things in life that are you problems and me problems. That's a you problem. How did your hamster get in with your snake? I don't know. Well put, man. Well put. Gracias. Okay, thanks. All right. So I guess that's it. TikTok took down another one of my videos because they said it was a dangerous act. Do I look like I would put my children in danger?
No.
Especially, I love them. They're very cute, even though they eat my pretzels. So anyway, that's it. Peace out to all. Be safe. Be kind to each other. And if you see a snake, leave it alone. Just let it go. Take a picture of it, move 10 feet back, and watch it roll. You don't have to kill them. They're not out to get us. And yeah, that's it.
Bye. Bye.
Hi, wifey. You want to say bye? Yeah.
Bye.
I can't put another child on my video. It's okay. I don't even know how to get out there. Flip camera. Wait, I gotta find. This is where I always struggle. How do I log off?
You've done so many lives.
No, but I never can remember where the button is. Is that it? And now, okay.
Bye.
Hey, bye everybody. Thank you, San Diego, California, and we appreciate everything. Be kind, be well, and peace.